Crypto bears are going to be seriously disappointed because things just keep not going their way. And I don't think it's going to go their way for a long time. So let's go ahead and talk about the data. Let's look at some charts. We got Ethereum charts, Solana charts, memecoin charts, Bitcoin charts. It's going to be a good time answering your questions. Second half of the streams, make sure you stick around for those good times. Welcome to everybody in chat. I see you guys. What is up? Nice to have you here. Let's talk crypto. So first and foremost, check this out. London Crypto Club. As we've been saying, the macro backdrop remains Goldilocks. Slowing, not collapsing U.S. economy. Sticky, not accelerating inflation. Signs and soft data, the economy may actually be turning higher. If you're a macro doomer view is based on recession, you're going to disappoint. And that's in response to Zero Hedge posting that the ISM services came in at 52, beating the expectations of 51 compared to the last month's 50.1. So that's good. Services are pumping. Okay. Now let's see about, the PMI. Obviously, that'll be a good one too. The production, see what that's coming in at. But still, services are going. Fantastic. Nice. Jobs still, not a great situation. Summary of U.S. August ADP jobs report from Jesse. The U.S. economy added 54,000 jobs in August, as per the ADP. Badly missing forecast gains of 73,000. That follows a small division for July, which added 106,000 jobs compared to the previously reported 104. The data points to a slowing labor market and raises a chance of multiple rate cuts by the Fed this year. There is an extremely high likelihood that Jerome, because of the labor markets, will have to start cutting rates, and will have to start cutting it relatively aggressively pretty soon, probably at the September meeting, which is a little over 2 weeks away. Okay? When that happens, that is going to pour fuel, not just, it's going to pour rocket fuel on top of an already heated market. Okay? Things get real silly out here. So, bears, what's your big thesis? What's your big thesis, man? What is it the bears are hoping for right now? Everything's going to go to zero again? There will be times, there's bear markets, there are times to be bearish. But I don't see the data really putting a lot of good arguments forward for the bear case. Let's put it that way. That's the nice way to say it, Lark. Okay, there you go. Symbiote, September dump has already happened. We're repeating the 2017 pattern. Day in day, biggest pump is ahead. Very interesting, actually, how some of these fractals play out over time. If that's the case, strap the F in, because we are going to go way crazy higher, man. Lark, rumor is you paid your house sitter an XRP while on vacation. I can neither confirm nor deny that. Oh my gosh. That's craziness. Ponzi trader, first higher high since the all-time high. Interesting observation. Fascinating. So, Bitcoin here, you can see what is this that I spy with my little eye? Could it be a bullish MACD crossover? Why, it is. Fascinating. Very, very fascinating. Now, look, this is a very important momentum indicator. I love the MACD because it shows, well, the direction the market's likely to be heading in, okay? When we see markets getting topped out, for example, and starting to lose momentum, as we did back here in July, you'll see the bearish crossovers. Now, it's not always a perfect indicator, because it went on, of course, put on a new high very briefly after that. But hey, if you'd sold 123 or thereabouts, then you probably would have made pretty decent money, just as an example. Anyway, when you have a MACD bullish crossover under the zero line, tends to be a signal that momentum is turning back in the right direction. Okay, you bring this at the same time that Bitcoin right now, as you can see, is attempting to put in a daily candle close above the 20-day EMA yellow line and above this orange line here, which is $112,000 support. If that happens, likely a new uptrend is starting. Okay. Now, we have had some mixed results on ETF flows this week. $600 million in on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, not so exciting. Not the biggest move in, actually move out. So anyway, but overall, a positive week for Bitcoin ETFs, okay? So that's good. Ethereum ETF's not quite the same picture, okay? We'll get to that in a minute. But first, we are giving away some money. Just quick updates on my trades. My Pengu trade, oh my gosh, it survived the night. It survived the night, man. Currently at $644 unrealized loss on that, but we did not get stopped out. Not yet anyway. Fingers crossed that we have some bullish action over the weekend. Anyway, holy cow, it has survived. Game close, man. Solana, of course, long, still well in profit and just chilling there. Now, if you want to start trading over on BitUnix, there is a link right down below here. You can go check that out. Guess what? You're going to get some pretty sweet bonuses when you do. Now, obviously, no KYC, no VPN, no BS. Anybody anywhere can trade on BitUnix. It's a very hot exchange this cycle for sure. Short the rips, long the dips. You guys know the drill. When you use that link down below, you get VIP level 3. It's going to be a 30% fee discount trial. You're going to get up to $400 in deposit bonus. You deposit $2,000, you get $400 back. There's insane trading bonus. We're not going to go over all those. You can see those here. And of course, you give away $1,000 a day. So let's give away $1,000 today. Okay. Let's do it. So currently, we've got 201 people that are eligible for today's $1,000 giveaway. So let's go ahead and check it out. Who is going to be Grok? Tell us who the winners will be, Grok. Grok takes a minute to think. Apparently a very serious thing, choosing two numbers randomly. Yes, it does follow similar requests, Grok. Grok, do it quicker. Everybody's waiting on the internet for you, Grok. Come on. 192 and 141. Okay, here we go. 192, 141. 141. There you go. Look at that. Put in $28. Guess what? You're getting $500. That's crazy, man. That is a return. That is a return. Look at that. Okay, so 141 and 192. 192 right here. This dude put in $88. Look at that. And he just won $500. Bada bing, bada boom. Two winners today. Didn't put in very much money, but got a lot of money back. Love it. I hope you guys take that trading capital and make some good trades and make a shit ton of money. Thanks to the guys at BitUnix for today's giveaway. Now, Ethereum ETFs have been a bit of a redder picture the last few days, okay? 29th, 160 million out, 135 million out on the second. You can see 167 million out on the fourth. A lot of money flowing out of Bitcoin ETFs, okay? A lot. Also, we have the premier Ethereum treasury company stocks, Bitmine Technologies, and SharpLink Gaming SBET, which I own both those guys. As always, I don't actually have my stock portfolio super well updated, but I'm telling you what I own right here. But if you ever want to see my portfolio for all my crypto coins, that's down below. Also, risk statement there, because guess what? Investing in crypto is effing risky. You can lose all of your money in a flash, just like that. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Past performance does not indicate future returns. There you go. Take it seriously. Now, these companies are sitting at an MNAV of around 1. So SBET's a little under, Bitmine's a little over. Now, they both have cash on hand ready to deploy, which is good. And this guy's saying, great time to buy these stocks. I'm not buying any more of these stocks. I have enough. I'm chilling on my stocks right now. We'll see how it plays out. But when the MNAV of these things start going back up, my guess is that the price of these stocks goes back up. And when we start seeing the price of ETH pumping in, both those things probably happen at the same time. Anyway, they both have cash. They both announced more buys. Everybody and the mother is fudding them right now. Yeah, the FUD I see going on right now around Bitmine and SharpLink makes me like, yep, they're going to bounce. It'll be great. It'll be glorious when it happens, but not today. Anyway, Ethereum currently chilling at the 20-day EMA. Now, this is a wild chart. Because look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Over a week now, we've just been sitting right on the 20-day EMA as the MACD slowly trends down. Okay, maybe we get a bullish crossover coming somewhere in the next week or two. Starting to flatten out a little bit, but it hasn't really had a big momentum shift. Not like Bitcoin. Bitcoin, as you can see, has a major momentum shift right now. Okay, RSI. We're trending under the control line here, yellow control line. So RSI is chilling. MACD not doing too much. 20-day EMA currently holding as support. The next breakout on ETH, we're going through this accumulation distribution period, okay? Next breakout on ETH probably takes us over $5,000, okay? When that happens, don't know, but that's probably what's going to happen when it does. Solana, man. It has been a rough road on our old Solana bag, isn't it? Look at this. Just keep getting these attempts to break out, man. And then it comes back down. Solana, come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. Well, what's interesting, of course, I'd like to point out, jokes aside, what's interesting I'd like to point out is that we keep getting in these. What do we got here? Look at this. Look. It's glorious. What do we keep getting? We keep getting higher lows. And we're running out of room for higher lows here. So either we break down here, which I don't think is the most likely scenario, or we break up here after we take out this 205 resistance with some kind of level of conviction, okay? It's an uptrend. When it stops being in an uptrend, then we'll talk. And right now, it's in an uptrend, okay? Render and Plume are the two daggers in my portfolio. Man, my Plume bags are down bad. I've actually been thinking about just taking the L and buying Pump, because Pump feels like it has an air of a nose. Pump's pumped quite a bit in the past few days. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I feel like I need to rally up some more cash here and buy some more Pump. This is gonna pump, isn't it? Like it's in the name, man. It's in the name. Genius. Pump and hype. Genius tickers. Genius. Anyway. Solana right now is looking good, man. 20-day EMA retest or 205 breakouts, which essentially we're at right now. Potentially. Wait for the daily close. Both interesting trade potentials there. Rex Osprey's Dogecoin ETF could come as early as next week, potentially come the first Doge ETF to the market, according to Bloomberg's Eric Balkunas. Now, Rex Osprey also has a Solana ETF, the first Solana ETF to U.S. markets. Now, it's not a direct spot ETF. This is the thing you need to realize. Their Solana ETF is like an agglomeration of ETPs listed on European stock markets. So it's like giving you exposure to other ETFs that are, it's a mess. Anyway, but that's what it is. So it's not a pure play ETF, which is like what Fidelity is going to launch for, and Franklin Templeton and all those guys wound up launching for Solana. But anyway, Rex Osprey's Dogecoin ETF. It's coming. All right. Dogecoin's getting an ETF pretty soon, guys. Now, Dogecoin right now sitting in this big fat triangle. When this triangle resolves, it's going to be a major price move. Bottom side test of the triangle down around 21 cents are probably buying opportunities. Breakouts beyond the 50, 20-day EMAs around 22 cents. Also probably buying opportunities. The real opportunity, though, comes breaking this downtrend line right here, which right now is around 23 cents, let's say. So a limit order at 23 cents, trying to catch me up to like 32, 33 cents, something like that. That would be the play here, I think, for Dogecoin, especially if you get some more positive ETF news. Now, look, the big one we're watching out for right now is the Solana ETF. That's probably the next one that's coming. XRP ETF, probably not too long after that. Then we can talk about Dogecoin and Litecoin, as they're probably the next in line. Pengu, my Pengu bags, man. My trade is just holding on by a thread here, okay? Great. Look, Pengu's in a downtrend. It has been bouncing around this area of price support here. That's where it needs to make it stand. That's where it needs to hold. Hopefully, we can actually get some momentum built back up in this sucker. And the big breakout. Now, that's the thing. You can try it along from support. If support holds, fantastic, right? Or the big trade probably comes on the breakout of this line. Okay, so it's like, where is it at right now? Around 3.3 cents. So around 3.3 cents, that's probably the big breakout that takes this up to, 5 cents or something like that. Okay. Bonk's bouncing off support. You got to give at least that to Bonk, man. When are the buybacks, sir? When Bonk buybacks starting again? I know they're buying back all the time, but the problem is that the Pump.fun launchpad was popular for a minute. And then Pump.fun came back in and stole the party. So look, Bonk at least is getting very close to that potential breakout zone. Now it's still trading at the 20-day EMA. It's still trading at the 50-day EMA. And support is looking so. But if you break this orange line, that's a potential trade coming in there. That's around 0.000021 right now. So that could be a breakout trade potentially brewing here for Bonk in the next few days. Something to keep an eye on. Of course, the big story right now is Pump, baby. Pump. Cozy Caller saying buying like 1% of the supply a week when revenue isn't even at its best. Imagine if trends actually wake up again. How much they going to be buying per week? Either way, the real impact of buying even 0.5% on open markets a week is huge. Similar play to hype in terms of revenue. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Even this market cap, I believe, is the easiest play in Q4 2025. I've bought a shit ton this week, and I feel like, you know what? I feel like I need to size this bet up even more, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's the wrong thing. Maybe I'm taking enough risk on Pump right now. Maybe I'm not taking enough risk. Risk more, Lark. Risk buy more. Maybe. It's a pretty big position already. I got a lot of it this week. We'll see. Like I said, I might sell one or two of the other altcoins. I keep looking at my portfolio. I just think it's still too big. I just shrink it right down, man. 10 coins max. Be crazy. Hasn't been 10 coins or under in a very long time. Andy saying there are only 2 tokens in the entire market buying back millions of dollars worth of their own supply every week. It's so obvious. It's silly. It's silly obvious. Pump, hype. And of course, the thing is, if you like hype, you should love Pump. Now, you have different products. One's perpetual swaps, one's a casino. I get it. Well, meme coin launchpad. But the revenues are real. The revenue buybacks are real. And the Pump.fun market cap is dramatically lower than hype. Let's just put it that way, okay? Those buybacks are going to have a lot more impact, okay? Sol Skill, easy to trade over take, and Pump has $2 million daily buybacks compared to Hype's $2.7 million with a $45 billion fully diluted valuation versus Pump's $4 billion FDV. Even if Pump buybacks drop to 500K, it should be priced at 0.08 plus comparatively. Yes, think about that. Think about it. It's doing 66% as much buybacks daily as Hype, or 60%, let's say, but it has 1/10 of the market cap. Number go up, baby. We, of course, have a major breakout of range here, which I think is something worth keeping an eye on here for Pump. This could be the breakout of range that takes us to all-time highs, and nothing ever goes up in a straight line. Obviously, you have to understand that, but so far, so good. Let's see what happens. All right, there you go. There you go, guys. Hydrate. Water's just delicious, isn't it? Always tastes like water. Big fan of that. Okay, so Lark, what about Ondo? Should be going up because the latest news did not happen. Yeah. I'm not an expert on Ondo. What is their token model? Do they have aggressive buybacks? Every token in crypto should have aggressive burn and buybacks. That's it. That's the thing that makes the number go up. Look at Ethereum back whenever they launched the merge. And that the narrative, we're burning thousands of ETH a day and stuff like that. It was great. It was a great narrative, baby. Okay, and yeah, we reduced the supply like 1% or something through the burn, but that's good. That's the kind of stuff that gets people excited. Okay, great. And then, of course, the real economic impact of someone like Pump buying millions of dollars a day of their token and burning them on a coin that has a market cap a little over $1 billion, probably $1.5 billion, something like that. That shit adds up. If they keep buying $2 million a day worth of Pump tokens and burning them. Now I know the fully diluted market cap is 4 billion, but the current market cap is like 1.5 or whatever. That's literally going to buy 50% of the available supply off the market in the next year. I mean, J-Man, I'm building bag of say about most around 16 cents. I'm up a little, but trying to get more. Nice. I've been thinking about some of my bags. Say I feel like, I don't know, it's low enough market cap that it's going to have potential, okay? But blockchain's competing with, Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, whatever, in not Cardano, because only Cardano's competing with Cardano. If you know, you know. Anyway, but other blockchains coming up, like, man, launching new infrastructure blockchains in 2025. I guess these guys launched 2025, but it's tough. And I say that as a bag holder, But they've been doing really good. The numbers look good. The on-chain metrics look good. So hopefully they can continue to build on that success. What are your thoughts on Near? Great blockchain. Cool dudes running it. No one gives a shit about it. That's the problem. That's the problem. Doing really cool shit with AI. What were they? They were spent like $250 million to launch like 1.5 trillion parameter LLM or something like that. Great, man. That's cool shit. No one cares. There's so many coins in the market that honestly, the money and the attention, where does it go? Where does it go? Now, maybe you're in some like, echo chamber where people are talking about the near blockchain every day and stuff like that. I just don't see it much being built on it. Not to say nothing's built on it, but look where almost everything gets deployed these days on Ethereum, EVM equivalent layer 2s like Base, or EVM equivalent chains like Avalanche or Solana. Now, Aptos, Say, Sui, they're probably the most interesting competitors right now. One of those is probably going to really take off. Near, I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, I'm not saying that. Here's the thing about any of my statements about any sort of blockchain or crypto. Whenever the market hits some kind of altcoin season, basically everything goes. Even Cardano is going to go to $10. It'll be stupid. There's no reason for that to happen, but it'll happen anyway because that'll be stupid times. Okay. But in terms of like sort of broader adoption, developer interest and stuff like that, I don't know, I feel like Near's lagged. But I mean, I haven't been paying attention to it since I sold my bag 8-9 months ago or whatever. But yeah, I would like to see more excitement coming into Near and more stuff built there. And, where's its Pump or Hyperliquid or Jupiter or whatever that's going to get people excited and going over there. Okay. Digital Citizen, what is up, man? You back? No, Sarah Jo, I live in Dubai, man. Will not be back to New Zealand for the foreseeable future. We've permanently left. I still love New Zealand. It's a great place. It's spiritually my home, but we have no plans of moving back to New Zealand. What do you think about Beam? Beam doing a lot of cool stuff, man. Obviously, big partnerships, big AI stuff. I feel like Beam's one of those just cooking quietly in the background. And one of these days, they're gonna come out and like have some big announcements or something like that. But man, I also feel like. Yeah, Avalanche-based tokens like Beam or Gun, they have not fared super well. But also, we're not in a major risk-on period in altcoins. So whenever gaming comes back and Avalanche season takes off again, Beam's probably an interesting bet. Show us where Pepe hurt you. Pepe to the moon. AVAX, man. Ranging for a while is an understatement. My goodness gracious. ADA is competing with Doge. Who has a better use case? I think we should run a pool. Lark, 2 weeks ago, I swapped my Sui into Wild, hoping there is a bigger multiple there. Too risky. Man, I've not looked at the distribution recently of Wild. Wild WILD WorldCoin. The problem at the start with WorldCoin is that there is way too much coin inflation. I don't know how far along it is right now in the coin inflation unlock schedule. That was kind of always the big concern. I mean, it's Sam Altman's altcoin. You feel like it should do really well. AI coins are kind of out of fashion right now at this particular moment. We had a small AI agent blip 3 months ago with virtuals. That fell off pretty quickly, lasted 3 or 4 weeks and then finished. Of course, we had the big AI thing back at the end of last year with AI agents particularly, but a lot of other stuff didn't get bid up. I know WorldCoin's not like an AI specific coin, but it's Sam Altman's coin. So it should, in theory, be getting more hype, but it's an identity coin. I don't know. I feel like WorldCoin's one of those dystopian things where probably it does really well long term. I'm reminded of this guy that I saw. That's like a screenshot of a Reddit post or something. Some dude bought a shit ton of Palantir back like 5 years ago. And basically his thesis was that evil prevails. And he was right. Palantir is an evil company, and it has prevailed. WorldCoin's a dystopian company, and it will prevail. That's my thoughts anyway. Let's catch up in the chat here. Any thoughts on Bluefin? Could it be the Jupiter Sui? Maybe. Haven't used it. Don't know enough about it to say so, but that's an interesting comparison. Sui to 100 billion? Maybe. It's not that crazy. Guys, I would like, when people ask about price targets and stuff like that, and we're at 3.95 trillion right now. Let's say we go to about 10 trillion or something this market cycle. You have to understand. We look at like Sui. Where's our buddy Sui at? Sui right now. Here we go. $12 billion. I'll put that on screen for you guys to see. Sui right now is worth $12 billion. Okay, not bad. Now, Sui, in my opinion, should be worth more than Cardano, which is worth $30 billion. Sheila, bring the kids. The internet man's going to shit on Cardano again. Cardano doesn't really deserve to worth $30 billion based on all of its on-chain metrics and stuff like that. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Now, the thing is, Sui's actually got a lot of stuff going on. If you go over to like DeFi Llama or something like that and look into all the metrics, like there's a lot going on Sui, and those guys are very hardworking and they're making a lot of stuff happen on chain. Cardano went to 100 billion. Well, okay, like 94 billion. Let's say 100 billion dollars. It went to 100 billion dollars last market cycle, and it didn't even have smart contracts active on chain at the time that it happened. There was no smart contracts yet on Cardano, and they sent it to 100 billion effing dollars. Dare to dream bigger, my friends. Can Sui go to $100 billion? Yes. Will it necessarily? I don't know. It depends on broader market conditions. What do you think about Jupiter versus JLP? I feel like Jupiter needs to do even more buybacks. They do buybacks, but it ain't sufficient enough. They need to actually step that shit up, be much more aggressive with their buybacks. JLP, of course, is the Jupiter liquidity protocol token, and that gets fees from the perps tax, right? So, yeah, I got a big bag of Jupe. I'm waiting for it to go to $5, man. One of these days. They need to do much more aggressive buybacks, though. Lark, what about Wormhole? I'm bullish. I have a bag. It's one that's a nice DeFi coin. Got a big stack of it. They flipped on the fee sharing switch and stuff like that as well. So like, there's a lot going on. A lot to like about Wormhole. Huge partnerships right across the board. Yeah, Circle Securitize, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like it's a bit of a sleeper in sort of the DeFi space. Obviously stuff like Pump and whatever hype are getting a lot more attention, and the game's really an attention game, isn't it? What's your feeling on H-bar? Don't really think about it that much. Not very excited about it. No shade on it, just never really caught my attention that much, let's say. What keeps these chains that seem to be dead, like Cardano in the top 10, is just stubborn people holding their positions, or is it people, part of it is, yeah, people just like buying it for whatever reason. There's a whole cohort of people out there who listen to Charles talk and go, yep, Cardano, man, that's the thing. I need to buy a bunch of that. And that's what they do. And again, guys, I like Charles. I like Cardano. We made plenty of money on Cardano last cycle. What's not to like about it? I'm just, my point of contention is I don't think it's worth $30 billion, man. But, the market disagrees with me. So what the hell do I know? Lark, in a scenario without a blow off top is a huge crashes are always still on the books. The interesting theory goes that basically because the way the market structure has changed with the institutional bid and all that kind of stuff, that we will see perhaps not as much upside, but also not as much downside volatility. We're just more of a slow up to the right grind for the market with little bumps up and then consolidation periods, little bumps up, consolidation periods. It's the Max Payne scenario, actually, for market participants, because most people want everything to have this big move up. But if you lack the big move up, you tend to lack the big move down as well. Now, look, does that mean bear markets are mathematically impossible again? No, of course not, guys. We'll always have a bear market. Remember in 2022, even Facebook went down 75%, man. Damn. Anyway, crashes will still happen. Big crashes will still happen. The question is, how often will they happen? And will it just be simply more tied to everything going on in the equity markets versus anything really more crypto specific. Caspa, I don't really think about it very much. Don't know. Never really got me all that excited. Wishing your bags well, but never really attracted my investment money. Can Matic have a miracle second run? Man, EA, I don't know, man. Gosh, it really just has not got any kind of excitement this cycle. It's incredible to see that no one gives a crap about Polygon this cycle. Last cycle, it was the golden child. Went up 100x from the time we started talking about it and buying it publicly. Then what? This cycle, it's all about Solana. We have all these new kids on the block like Sui and Say and Aptos. They're getting a lot of attention. Polygon, I don't know. And it's a hardworking team too, man. They do a lot of stuff and the chain gets a lot of use still. Anyway. World Liberty Fi under 20 cents. Good time for an entry. I don't know, man. Honestly, I feel like I'm sitting World Liberty Fi out for now. Maybe it goes up massively later, but the FDD is just so big at the moment. I'd rather buy Pump personally. Now, AVAX is not being manipulated. It's just not being bought. That's the problem. We can blame, oh, it's being manipulated. I don't think so. I think AVAX just, it does well, but it doesn't do well enough. It's got token burns, but it doesn't burn enough. It's just underperforming. I feel like, honestly, how is it that Avalanche is worth a third of what Cardano's worth? Make it make sense, guys. Yeah, Avalanche is not a cult. That's the problem. Cardano's a cult. Cult of the beard, maybe say. Avalanche is not a cult. Avalanche has got a lot of diehard fans, and it's a good blockchain. Don't get me wrong. It's a good blockchain, and it deserves to be in the top 30 or whatever. But it should be higher. What do we think about the Swift CIO saying Swift will not use XRP? Haven't seen about that. I think a lot of interesting things get said about XRP that don't always end up being super true. Lark, do you prefer your videos or live streams? I have a bit of fun with both. It depends. Sometimes just like making a quick 15-minute video, but I really enjoy live streams. I enjoy getting to talk to you guys here. Are older coins like Mana dead? Man. Yeah. Mana and the Sandbox. I think there'll be a time, and I don't know when that time is. I've been wildly disappointed by crypto gaming this cycle. I've lost a lot of money in crypto gaming this cycle. It was big last cycle, and I can see the use case. I can see why it would take off. I was wrong. I lost a shit ton of money. Is what it is. Now, when there is some kind of gaming hype at some point, not even off the grid's token came out, and it's just been sucking, man. Hope it picks up at some point. Invested a lot of money in off the grid. I think off the grid's probably the best bet out of the gaming coins. That being said, when gaming takes off, if we get a gaming run this cycle, man, it's probably going to be short, like 3 or 4 weeks. Like, all the gaming coins to the moon. Whenever that happens, Mana and the Sandbox will probably run, but I have no idea what's going on over at these protocols. I'm sure they're doing something over in Decentraland, but just games. I don't know. Open world games where you can go and hang out. This is not the 2021 vibes where you had like Paris Hilton DJing in Decentraland, a Snoop Dogg hanging out in the Sandbox and shit. People are all excited about NFTs and NFT land and all that stuff. No one gives a shit anymore. The metaverse was the hot thing. It's not anymore. So the narrative's gone away. So I'm not saying these coins can't come back. I mean, some of those old leaders of the space will probably do really well if we get that hype cycle built up this time around. And there's probably going to be a moment when gaming takes off, but I'm not sure I'd be looking to throw money in those right now, for me personally. My bags are packed for so long. Yeah, I know. Maybe let's try to rebrand. Talking about Polygon, probably not a bad idea. High lark, you should have some BNB. You know, I can't own them all. I was reminiscing the other day. Man, I had just thousands of BNB back in the day. Thousands. Sold them all. Now, part of that was because I was a Binance affiliate and I was getting BNB paid out when it was like $2-3, you know, and so wake up, oh, another 100 BNB in my account. Great. And I was going to sell that for cash, you know, buy some Bitcoin or something. Fast forward, should have held every one of them. Oh, well, say la vie. That being said, I'm not rushing to buy BNB right now. It's obviously got a great use case within the Binance ecosystem, but like the BNB chain has really not taken off this cycle. You know, I mean, obviously the BNB coin remains so high because of the exchange, but the BNB chain, I know they tried to get something going. They had like the TST coin and like the Dogecoin for the CZ's dog or whatever. And a lot of people still use the BNB chain, but just, it's not like last cycle, man. It's not the hot spot to be. Okay, one or two more questions here, guys, and we're going to finish up for today. Try to keep these streams relatively shortish. I guess 40 minutes is not very short, but anyway, you guys know what I mean. Are you worried about all of the recession alarm bells going off? You and I are looking at different data, man. I don't see a bunch of recession alarm bells going off. The only thing you might say is the weakening job market, but the services PMI, we talked about that earlier in the show, that's up. The PMI itself is trending upwards, not about, or the manufacturing ISM is going up. That's okay. GDP grew at 3.3% last quarter. Like, I don't know. I'm not really seeing a lot of recession alarm bells, so I'm not worried about recession narratives at this particular time. Quantum encrypt projects. I don't know exactly what the question is here, Digitech, but I think that the quantum worry is probably a bit overblown, and that a lot of the blockchains will simply just upgrade and move beyond that. It won't be a problem. So quantum computing is coming. It'll be a something that needs to be reckoned with. But yeah, overall, I think that quantum encrypted or blockchains that are, I think, ahead of the curve, probably good, but everything else is just going to end up upgrading anyway. Quantum projects like QST, Qubit, are these stocks? I'm not sure what those tickers are. Sorry, if there's a quantum computer stocks, I don't know. Don't know, man. $20 trillion market cap coming. I think we top out a little bit shy of 10 this cycle. 8.99, something like that. Anyway, that's it for today. You guys are awesome. Appreciate your time. I'll see you back next week.